shadows fade as I rise in you. Hurdles are tests and I'm pushing through. Every moment I don't want it to be old. More than a diagnosis, a story to be told. Battling whispers of courage burning bright. I'm Muriel, a beacon in the dark of night.
Hey, so she was at my house visiting with me over spring break, and Friday night she got sick when she got here because we all had a cold. Well, Friday night she had a seizure, and then she woke up from it, but she was having trouble breathing, so she went into another seizure. So I was on the phone with her uncle, and my daughter Michelle picked up her phone and called 911 because we were afraid because she wasn't breathing well. So she went up to Nova Healthcare Hospital on Friday night, and they were saying that she was having vaginal breathing because of like the seizures, having trouble breathing. At one point they were going to try to intubate her and stuff because of the problems with breathing.
It's called agonal breathing. That's how it's pronounced, Mom. Agonal breathing.
Okay. Well, so there were like real concerns, and Sonova was taken out real seriously. And they were giving her, all her seizure medications and stuff there, but then they moved her to the step-down unit when there wasn't any room in their ICU. And we were on the phone together, me, her, Uncle Darian, and a friend of mine, Marlena, all sitting there talking. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she started having trouble breathing. Then
I had a seizure.
And I woke up all scared and confused. And I remember how, because they hung up the phone. They're like, we're going to hang up and everything because she's not breathing. And everything like that. So we were like, okay. So she woke up and everything, and then called me back. And the nurse at the Genova said that they 6404'd her for psychiatric because they said when she came out of the seizure, she tried to dive out of her bed to get to her phone.
I don't remember diving out of my bed at all. I don't remember any of that because I was like not really there afterwards. I was all confused and scared.
Yeah. And I told Sonova, I said, you don't 6404 somebody who just had a seizure. She didn't know what was going on. You can't do that. Well, we have to. It's standard because she was, trying to hurt herself. We got to make sure she's not this or that, So it's
all I remember is not being able to talk. I'm not able to talk after some of my seizures, and all I remember is being upset because I couldn't talk, and they were treating me like I was faking it, and like they were like, all I remember.
That wasn't Sonova. That was Vanderbilt.
Tenova did it too. Tenova did that too. They were like, you need to talk to us, otherwise we're not gonna know what you're saying.
And I told them. They knew that you couldn't talk after seizures.
But I don't remember throwing myself out of my bed or hurting myself. I don't remember doing that.
So the next day, she got reviewed by the psychologist at Sonova, which released her from the 6404 because she just told her, look, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody or hurt myself or none of that. I don't remember. I just came out of a seizure. I was half out of it. I don't remember any of this. I'm sorry I offended anyone, blah, blah, blah. She was like, oh, okay. So they transported her to Vanderbilt in a, what did you say it was? A lifeline ambulance. So that in case she would have needed intubated on the way over to the hospital of Vanderbilt, in Wilson County, because they could have intubated her. So she got there in the ICU and stuff, and so everything was fine. And then later that night, they took her phone and all of her stuff away and security and stuff like that because they said she was making videos and posted them on TikTok and it was including the hospital staff. And I had to get on the phone again and tell them that was not happening.
No.
She never posts anything that shows any of the hospital staff because she knows the rules. She was not filming you.
I was filming my face, like, right here.
Yeah, like selfies and stuff, and they accused her of that.
And my mom knows everything I've got on my phone, don't ya?
Yeah, I do. I can actually look in your phone from my phone if I wanted to. And then I see the content that you post and everything, and that's why I had told her care providers before, look, I know everything that she's posting on her
Oh, and that's
social
another
media.
thing.
I have access to all of it.
And that's another thing for the trolls. Since my mom can look in my phone, I would probably be in trouble if I was faking all this. So, I'm definitely not faking if she can look in my phone and agrees with me, everything I'm doing, everything I'm posting.
Because
I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, I mean, see, for me, you know, I wouldn't be all over social media talking about my health problems and stuff like that because I think that's weird. Like, for me, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. But it's her experience, you know, it's her. It's her thing, and she's comfortable with posting stuff about it and everything like that. Maybe there's somebody out there that's going through the same thing she's going through, and she's trying to use her journey to help somebody else out there in some way.
Yeah, but I was just bringing up the fact that if I was lying about any of that stuff, I'd be in trouble with my mom.
Yeah, no, I mean, I mean, psychogenic seizures do not cause breathing problems and don't cause you to be paralyzed afterward, or any of that stuff would not be going on. There would be no side effects, and by the way, your seizure medication wouldn't even be helping you right now. So if they're on epileptic, they're for some other reason, some other medical problem going on causing it. And
the neurologist tried to lie to you too.
Yeah, I talked to the neurologist at Vanderbilt yesterday. Because, like I was saying, Vanderbilt tried to take her phone. They thought she was posting. At first they told me that it was because she stopped breathing, which I knew happened because she was on the phone with me and Uncle Darian when that happened. So I knew she stopped breathing. But they also said that it was because she was posting stuff and because she was like screaming and bit herself. She bit herself. Didn't remember doing it. Didn't find the wound on her hand from it until last night. She's like, wow, I must have been. All she remembered was screaming because she woke up from the seizure and couldn't talk. And they were in there gaslighting her at Vanderbilt. Not last night, but the night before. Saying, oh, you're not having a seizure. You're just making an excuse because she said that she had, you know, that the seizure she had was brought on because of stress. And, oh, you're making an excuse. You're not having a seizure. You can talk. How can you sit there and say that say that somebody's not having a seizure and that they're able to talk? You don't know them. You're not in their body.
Yeah, and I was just, all I remember was sitting there screaming and confused and couldn't talk.
Because they couldn't,
but wanted to say, like, how dare you do this? I really wanted to say, how dare you say that stuff to me? What are you even talking about? You don't know me.
And her phone has an AAC on it so that when she's in a state like that where she's not able to verbalize, she has a way to communicate. You type in what you want to say into it, and it'll vocally read out in your phone. Yeah.
So they basically took away my only form of communication at that time.
Yeah, I didn't even give you a pen and paper. At least Tanova was giving her a pen and paper.
And I remember trying to sign this, like do this as in for pen and paper, and they were acting like they didn't know what I was trying to sign. they didn't know that I was trying to sign for a pen and paper like this. I was doing this. That's all I remember.
Yeah. And took away your only thing for communication. And legally, you can't do that. The person needs something like a communication device, whether it's your phone or whatever it is. They can't legally take that away. And they took her phone out. And so I was like, look, it has an AAC on it. She wakes up from a seizure and she can't talk. She has to have some kind of a way to communicate with you. You know, I talked to the neurologist yesterday. I was like, look, do not take her seizure medication away. I said she was hospital in December in the ICU because she completely stopped breathing during a seizure, and told them which hospital it was and everything. And so it was Summit.
Yeah, and I basically...
And our neurologist, I told him who our neurologist was, and he was like, well, you do know that seizures are non-epileptic, right? I was like, I wouldn't believe you, because a non-epileptic seizure would not cause all this stuff, and she does not have any mental health issues that will cause a non-epileptic because of psychological.
All that stuff he said just makes me want to freaking facepalm, because it's just so stupid that he would say all that stuff.
And I said, not only that, but the Keppra wouldn't even help if it was. He said, well, actually, Keppra does help non-epileptic seizures.
Oh, that's not true. It says it's only for epilepsy.
I only have one friend who takes Keppra. She has mitochondrial disease and then has migraine headaches and stuff like that. So her seizures are somehow related to the mitochondrial disease and the migraine headaches. So she has seizures because of that. But she takes Keppra. But she's on like twice as much of it as you, though. That's the only, other thing. I was like, well, if they are non-epileptic, then there's something medical going on causing them that's a lot more serious. And you want to stop at brain thing and mental health, and you don't want to look anywhere else. You need to look outside the box and really figure this out, because
they need to do genetic testing. They need to do every kind of test there is at this point, because I'm tired of not having answers and then being gaslighted for something that I can't even control.
Yeah. I'm so, Canova was taking her seriously until they mistakenly 64 aboard her, but they were still taking it serious. And then sent her to Vanderbilt, which Vanderbilt has always gaslit her. They've always sat there and said they were fake. Way back when all this stuff started happening back in 2015, Vanderbilt was lying to me, lied to her dad, lied to everybody involved with her, saying that they were fake, that they were for attention seeking, they were psychogenic, they were pseudo, they were everything but what they're not. Freaking, I'm sick of Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
they're, world-renowned freaking university hospital, and this is the way they do people.
You'd think that they should be better than that, but they're not.
Yeah.
You would think that because they're a university that they wouldn't gaslight you, and then brainwash your family. All that brainwashing. Because they put all their stuff in security. They lost her debit cards because they took her debit cards out of her purse.
And then
they lost my cane, they lost my crutches. Lost my cane and crutches. Yep, they lost my cane and they lost my crutches that I use for balance.
And now I have to go back and buy them. Again.
It's just so messed up they did all that to me.
And she refused the MRI and the EEG that Vanderbilt was going to do because of the way they were treating her. And two, they always say that there's nothing on the MRIs, and they always claim that there's nothing on the EEG. So what would have probably happened was they probably would have did it, and they would have said that it came back clean, and probably would have taken away all of her seizure medication. And I told the neurologist yesterday, I said, look, without that seizure medicine, she's going to have like 4 or 5 or 6 of these bad seizures a day at home, everywhere. It was so bad that the care provider couldn't even take her out to the store.
It was so bad that I was having them everywhere I went. Everywhere.
And with all the breathing problems and stuff like that, it's life-threatening.
Yeah, and my mom had to see my airway get bypassed multiple times. You remember all that, don't you?
Yeah, because it was after you have jaw surgery.
And
so,
they were considering intubating me at Canova too.
Well, thank God they didn't have to do that, but the fact that they were considering it was scary. And she has to, they said that she came back positive for strep.
Yeah, and the doctor said that was what was dropping my seizure threshold and making me have more seizures.
Yeah, and plus also because they were just giving you the emergency seizure meds and not your regular doses.
Yeah, the emergency seizure medicine is like 1,000 milligrams of Keppra only lasted like a day.
Yeah, and then yesterday when Vanderbilt finally started her back on her regular medication, she's like stopped having seizures. Like, well, duh, no wonder she was having so many of them. The fact that she was sick, plus also not being given her regular medicine. That's scary, because I thought they were going to stop her meds. I said, no, you can't do that.
That would have put my life at danger.
And whatever the neurologist wants to do is what we'll do. We're not going to,
If they would have taken my meds, that would have either killed me or put my life in danger.
Yeah.
That would have either, 1, led to my death, or 2, put my life in danger to the point where I'd end up getting intubated. Or whatever else.
Yeah. So I just can't believe that. Because all we have right now is epilepsy, just based on the fact that seizure medicine works. Because they don't know any other reason for it. Because nobody's ever checked. There's a bunch of stuff they could check for her to see if she's got them on, and they've never.
It's crazy they did this to me. It's just like, it's unbelievable. You'd think a university wouldn't do that to a person, but they are doing it to me, and not just me, but I found out that other people, they mistreated other people and got charged for frickin' medical malpractice.
Yeah, it was, like your uncle, I think, was saying that there was a blind man that had seizures too, and because of a seizure, he fell and broke his hip, and now there's a lawsuit on Vanderbilt for that.
Yeah, I looked it up, and I didn't see anything specific about that, but I did see that they had multiple medical malpractice lawsuits against them. Including because they were given trans people's information away too. That's another reason they got lawsuits.
They're not supposed to give any information away, regardless of what information is, because of HIPAA. That's really against the law there. That's a privacy problem.
Yeah, it's just freaking
That could
nuts.
even be criminal charges for that too. Could be, because if the wrong person gets the information, it could be used for anything.
They even stole her debit cards, remember? That's also robbery.
Yeah, but I mean, they got lost, so I'm not sure. We could probably not prove robbery, but we have to get our cards replaced now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They should have been left in your purse, or they were. You said they took them out and put them in a gray baggie.
Yeah, they took him out and put him in a gray baggie. That's what Tanova did, was took him out, put him in a gray baggie, and when the ambulance got there, they gave the gray baggie and everything, my cane and my crutches, to the ambulance people. And the ambulance people, I saw the ambulance people bring them in with me into Vanderbilt too. And then Vanderbilt all of a sudden just said, oh, nope, they're not here.
Yeah, it's Vanderbilt, all of it. Like, I hate that hospital.
What about Sonoma? Did they betray her like shit in Sonoma too?
No, just when they 6404'd her. That was wrong, because they took her off of that because I called and talked to somebody and said, you can't 6404 somebody that wasn't aware of what they were doing.
I was barely aware, only knew that I was screaming. And that I was scared, and that I felt like I was being treated wrong because I didn't have any way to communicate. Because I couldn't talk.
Man, you can't do that to people. Oh, God. But I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go for now.
Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. But I'm glad that we were able to get that off our chest.
Alright, well, until next time, y'all.
Bye.